Well, IJ was, after our game Friday night, tweaked his hip in practice, which was really scary. The floor was wet here in the hump, and he slipped and really tweaked his hip. I was, prepared for, all scenarios, which was really tough. We got an MRI finally on Monday, and it came back negative, and so he was able to go through things on Monday and then practice full yesterday, so seemingly he's fine, which was really great news. Malik had his cast removed on Tuesday. Yesterday went through some shooting and some running, felt pretty good. It felt good this morning, a little stiff. Anytime you have a foot in a cast for 10 days, the whole joint locks up a little bit, talking about the ankle joint. So he will shoot again at 2 o'clock today, go through 5-on-0 stuff early in practice for about 40 minutes, see how that transpires, and then see the doctor, Dr. Altmeyer, who is our foot and ankle specialist, sometime this afternoon. In terms of the game on Friday, Eastern Washington's really good. I mean, this game, they really have my attention big time, and we knew that when we signed the contract to play them. It was there was no good choice of who we were going to open up our first game with this year. I mean, they're very good. They won 26 games last year. They were 26-9. They beat Indiana on the road in the preseason, who was a very good team and a very high seed in the tournament a year ago. They're a problem. They have really tough matchups. Vicky, their big Joyce, the big kid inside from Australia, 6'8", really a good athlete, really has a good jumping ability. He's a very tough matchup because he puts the ball on the floor. They'll run sets with him as the point guard, as their 5-man. So it's not a good scenario, especially the way they're calling the game, where they're going to call every little touch foul, foul. So he's a difficult matchup. In that game at Indiana, for example, he had 20 points and 14 rebounds. He's a player. Then the kid 32, whose name I'm not even going to attempt to announce out of embarrassment, but you can look, starts with a B. He is a very good player as well. He was a freshman year in the conference last year. Looks like he's a little older, very skilled, shot 53% from 3, can really shoot it. Is another very good player. They had a kid, a couple other kids that were part of their nucleus last year. One, number 44, is an excellent shooter, and his name is Oldhoff, or I can't even remember. I should have this in front of me here. The 44 is a good shooter. He's really a problem in that he can stroke the ball from 3. In one game last year, I think it was it was either the semifinals or the finals, he had 5 threes in the conference tournament. So he can really shoot the basketball. So, they're a problem. They're a good team. Austin McBroom, I've known since he's in junior high. He's an LA kid that played for Coach Ziegler, my assistant at Central Michigan. Then when Ernie left there, he went to St. Louis. I saw him play last year in the A-10. Can really shoot the basketball. He's a little guy. He's probably, they list him at 6 feet. He's probably about 5'9", 5'10", can really shoot it. He's a problem. He's their starting point. Von Hopp was 44. I had that right. And then Sir Washington is a lefty from Las Vegas. He's a 6'3" sophomore who's really improved his outside shooting. A year ago, going into the semifinals or quarterfinals of their conference, he was like 5 for 14 on the year from 3. Well, he's shooting the ball much better now. They really space the floor. They really spread you out. They allow people to go one-on-one, spin dribble, and up and under. At one point last year, late in the season, they were 3rd in the country in scoring, 81 points a game. They shoot a lot of threes. It's like playing a very skilled, Euro-style type team. So it's a problem. We've got our hands full. We're going to have to play really well to have success against Eastern Washington. Questions?
Even if everything goes well with the doctor today, how many minutes do you envision Malik maybe playing?
You know what? I have no idea. I'm going to let the doctor determine that. I would say that, basically, he hasn't practiced in over 2 weeks. So to throw him out there for any kind of major minutes would be inappropriate and reckless on our part. In terms of how many minutes he plays, what happens for Friday night, my biggest concern is the big picture of this season. I don't want to rush him back, have him re-injure his toe, and now he's out for a month. I mean, he's made good progress. I just have to see how it goes today, so I really can't give you a very clear determination as to what that will be for Friday. And we'll just have to wait.
Obviously, you've touched on these kids having a new mindset, the seniors that have gone through the 3 losing seasons. You said it's a whole new mindset now, but with that being said, how important is it for this group to get off to a good start Friday? I mean, just for...
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with that in the past. I mean, I really am excited about our team. You saw us play last Friday night. I thought we looked good. I thought we played very good against UAB with 8 players. Neither Malik or IJ were available during that scrimmage behind closed doors. So I'm really pleased with how our team is developing. Like I've said a lot, we're going to keep getting better. We're going to keep improving. The key for us is one thing: staying healthy. These kids are great kids. They're unbelievably coachable. I'm having a really fun time with them, coaching them. They're getting better, and we've improved a lot in every aspect from March 24th to now. And I think we'll continue to improve, and that's the key to being a good team. Obviously, we want to win every game. Every single game we play, we want to win and expect to win.
I guess when you're going into this season, when you look at your last stops, previous stops, the third year was the year that you won the conference. What goes into the foundation? What needs to happen this year and next year for that to happen and continue here?
So you're jumping ahead to year 3 now, Michael?
Well, I'm jumping into what has to happen this year to lay the foundation for year 2 and 3.
The foundation, in other words, to help us do that, will be the guys that will be around in year 3. So that would be, in terms of this year, it would include Q, it would include Eric Holman, who we're hoping will be back practicing again here in a month or so. He's actually getting out now and updating him and allowing him to shoot a little bit. He's progressing. As to how far he can progress here in the next month remains to be seen. But I think in worst case scenario, he'll be out there practicing again sometime in December with us, which will really help us. As I mentioned before, it really hurts us not to have Eric not only on the team, but to make our practices better every day. Same thing with Xavier. He'll be out the whole year. But both those guys are key guys moving forward, along with Q. Those 3 guys, I all see as being real mainstays to the future, and a lot of it depends on who we sign and those kids that come in next year and how we grow that group. So this recruiting class is critical to our future, and that's why we spent so much time and effort trying to have a great recruiting class here in our first full recruiting class. Last year did count; we were a part of it. Malik and Airman and Xavier. And I don't think they even included Xavier in terms of our recruiting class when they rated it. It would have been even better because I think he's going to be a good player. And right now, I don't know how Greg wants to do it, but I hope to have 4 letter of intents back here by this evening. We can do a conference call later, but I can't discuss anything about that until such time as we have them in hand, as I'm sure you guys know.
With all the momentum and things that's kind of surrounding the program as far as fan base and new expectations with you and new players and all, how critical is it to get off to that good start, that 1-0 start?
Well, we want to win our first game. I think I indicated that. It's critical to win every game that we play, and we expect to win every game. And we don't have, like as I talked about in depth, it's going to be a very difficult game to win. It's not like, I wish we were playing, someone that we could beat by 95 points. But that's not the case.
If Malik does return Friday, or when he does return to action, what does that kind of do for Q's role?
Q's role is critical either way. I think the strength of our team is the depth we have in those 5 players that are guards, all of them. And you're talking about IJ, Malik, Chicken, Fred, Q. All those 5 guys are interchangeable I don't think we lose anything. In fact, we gain certain things when one comes in. I feel great having all 5 of those guys in the game at any given time in any combination of play. So I think that's our real strength. Fred actually has seen the doctor, or just saw the doctor, our team doctor. He's got congestion and a sore throat, so I hope he's not too bad. I have no update on that. That happened today. I just found out an hour ago.
You talked about the development of Q. I mean, what are the conversations? How do they differ from when you're talking to him about, you know, his future, maybe with Malik? With Q obviously probably being back more often. How are you coaching him differently maybe than Malik?
I'm not coaching him any different at all. And he's really made great progress. I think if you guys have seen him more than I have from the standpoint. I'm assuming some of you saw him as a high school player, a year ago in Jackson versus where he is right now. I think he was terrific on Friday night. He's been terrific the whole time. He played very well for us in the close scrimmage, with the exception of having too many turnovers. But to be thrown into that role of being you're the only point guard on the whole team right now and handling it and doing a great job for us defensively. I mean, he is going to be a terrific player. He's already grown and improved so much. I am so excited about Q and what he brings to the table right now, and then potentially how good he's going to be down the road is really exciting. But in terms of how I'm coaching, I mean, we're not coaching any different at all.
Aren't the conversations different though, in the sense of what you have to do going forward?
No, I mean.
Guys, you got anything else? Thanks, guys.
Okay.